Alright, today we're going to go through how to use lifting straps, applications for them, and when to use them in your training as well. So it's a new pair of figure 6 lifting straps, the most common. Same principle will apply to if you're using figure 8s or grips. So you're going through the outside here, let's feed the end of the strap through there, and that'll be the righty. You want the strap, the loose end of it, to be running towards your thumb. So same thing here, feed on through. Okay, perfect. I'm going to pull the loop in nice and close. There's not too much gap in there, so otherwise it's going to be wasted space, it's going to be hard to wrap. Now we're set and ready to go with our straps running out towards our thumbs. So start with your non-dominant hand, strap in, and strap around the bar. Really 2 revolutions there, so slightly overlapping itself, and then you're just going to grab that and just sort of wind it on. So you get a nice tight secure grip, and then with your more useful hand, you can do the same thing. You've only got one hand to do it with, so you want to try and replicate the same wrap and wind it on, just so you feel nice and tight in the same sort of position that you had with the first hand. You got a nice secure grip. You can either do it thumbed like this, or you can use a thumbless grip if you like. It's going to be much more secure using thumbed. Now you've got a dramatically enhanced grip so that your grip and hand strength won't fail before your deadlifting strength. Same application if you're using like a cable row or a lat pull down. So this one's going to be a little more challenging to do, but let's wind around, squeeze the fingers there and wind on. And same one with the other hand. Just wind them on so they're nice and tight. You want them to be even so you've got a nice balance between them. Otherwise, when you load with the weight, you're going to feel like one is pulling way more on one side than the other. But as you do it a few times, it'll become much more natural and you get a great feel for it. It'll become second nature. Same concept, it's one hand with the dumbbell. So, self up there, just wind under, slightly over itself again, and then just want to wind it on there so you've got a nice secure grip. Get your hand nice and centered on the bar as well, because it's going to give you a better balance. But that is going to give you a lot more dramatically enhanced grip, because a lot of the weight is actually hanging from the strap and far less in your actual hand. So you're going to have much more grip strength left over, so you can pull more weight for more reps and dramatically overload. So when to use straps in your training? The best time to utilize straps is going to be where your grip is failing before the target muscle, or it's limiting your performance on a lift. Probably most relevant example would be a deadlift. So if you're pulling double overhand, palms down, then it's likely that your grip is going to fatigue and fail before your back, glutes, etc. fail. So the options are to switch to a mixed grip, like a under-over, either way, but that is a less secure grip in terms of like a bicep position. The likelihood of tearing is going to be greater. Or you can use chalk, do the same thing, but using straps of some kind is going to be a great way to dramatically enhance the amount of weight you can lift, reps you can do at a given weight. If you're pulling and getting fatigue, what's going to happen is the bar is going to end up slipping into your fingers. So you're not going to be in the ideal position. The bar's going to drift out from you, which is going to mean non-optimal bar path, way more risk exposure, and it's going to put your lower back under a lot of load as the weight extends out in front of you, which is definitely not where you want to be. So that is a great time to strap up. I'd save your straps for your later sets. Like if you're working up to 180 kilo deadlift, your working weight, then I wouldn't put straps on till at least 140, 160. So you're still getting plenty of hand and grip stimulation from the lighter weights and acclimating to using those, not using these as a crutch. But then when you get to your working weight where you really want to perform at your best, straps can be great. All right, so there's 3 main types of different lifting straps. So you've got your figure 6 lifting straps we went through before, you've got figure 8, and then we've got a lifting grip. Personal preference, they're all doing the same thing to enhance grip. This one will thicken the bar the most and probably the hardest to get even. Your figure 8s are a little bit more straightforward. So one hand round, loop around the bar and just back over your hand. That's it, nice and simple, straightforward. Personal preference, a lot of people use these for deadlifts, frame carries, more popular in strongman. And then you've got a lifting grip. So where this is different is it's like a rubbery sort of texture. It's got a little dowel in the end and it spreads the load out over the whole wrist. So let's pull that off, put it through here, pull that nice and tight, and then you just wrap onto the bar. So instead of gripping the bar, you're really gripping the grip. Let's feed that over and That's going to lock in nice and securely. You just grab that. So there's no contact on the bar with your hand at all. So personal preference of which you like. I like grips the most. Found it's much more secure. You can lift far more weight. These never, ever, ever break. And they keep your hands nice and fresh and soft because they're not touching knurling whatsoever. But personal preference, any one of those will help you enhance your grip.